Hello everyone, welcome to the session of Python programming language. Today we'll be discussing about the topic called tuples. Till now we have learned the concept of strings, list and dictionary. So where string is a collection of characters which are enclosed either in a single quote or double quotes, and list is a set of any data type which is enclosed within square brackets, and dictionary is a set of key value pairs which are enclosed in flower phrases. So when we move on to this concept called tuple, a tuple is also a sequence of data elements, and all these data elements are enclosed within the parenthesis and which are separated by comma. So now when we compare these tuples with the list or dictionaries, all look very similar, but how you are representing these elements are a bit different. So the values that you are storing in the tuple is of any data type. It can be integer, float, string or character. And every element is indexed by integers. The very important thing about a tuple is the tuple elements are immutable, means you will not be able to change the elements once it is created. So we had seen this different data types till now: list, strings, dictionaries and tuple. So list and dictionaries are mutable, means they are able to be modified, whereas strings and tuples are immutable. You cannot modify the contents of the tuple elements. So how do you create a tuple? So when I see here A is equal to Python programming, which is enclosed in single quotes or double quotes, which has two elements, one is Python and another one is programming. So when I print A, so then it will print the list in small brackets, that is parenthesis. Similarly, can you observe here another way? There is no parenthesis listed here. So the one of the important thing is a tuple can be as comma separated values, but parenthesis is always optional. It is not mandatory to have parenthesis. The comma separated values is called a tuple. Okay. So we said tuples are also comparable, means you can compare one tuple to another tuple. So tuples are hashable. So what do you mean by hashable? Dictionaries are hashable. Tuples are also hashable. It means every element can be stored in the form of a different hashing function in the key value pair. So what is dictionary? Dictionary is nothing but association with key value pair, and it will be stored. So whenever you want to have a large database, it is always better to go for dictionaries, where by applying some hashing functions it is easy to extract the data. Will not go what is that hashing function. Just remember, hash table is nothing but instead of indexing through integers, we will be able to index it through keys, so which is easy to access. So tuples as well as dictionaries are hashable elements. Okay, and here our data is fixed. You cannot change the elements because they are immutable. The insertion order is preserved. Duplicates are allowed. You can have 10, 10, 30, and you can also have heterogeneous objects. Heterogeneous means a tuple set of elements can have integer, float, string or character at a time. Okay, and every element of the tuple is accessed through index. So that can be having positive index or it can have negative index. So strings, list and tuples can be accessed using positive and negative indices. We have already gone through this. So let's move on to this example of how this elements can be accessed. So when I say a tuple, parenthesis is optional and it contains a list of comma separated values. I am trying to print T and know what type of the list has been stored. So can you see here the class is of type tuple and the elements are 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay. Now when we come to the specific types, tuples are immutable. So can you see here what is t of 0? T of 0 is 10. I will try to modify t of 0 with 100. So let's see what happens, whether it gives the output or throws an error. So here tuple objects does not support item assignment. So you will not be able to modify the content. So you will get an error saying it's not supporting. And one more thing you can see, tuple have initialized with a. So just I will show you an example here. Tuple is initialized with a and I am trying to print the value of t as well as the type of t. So when you run this program, so a is also displayed, but what is the type of the element that we have given? It is a string. How can I convert this into tuple? So when you put a comma, okay, you need not give, it is an option, you need not give the next element, and when you run the same program you can see the tuple with the closed brackets and where it says you are giving the type as tuple. Okay, can you see the same thing example that I have given? So you are specifying only a string, it will throw as a string type. But if you are putting a comma over this, it is valid and it says that this is a type called tuple. So can you see here, even though you write it in a parenthesis, that is not considered as a tuple. It is always considered as a string data type. And again, if you have an element, say for example, you have an element called 10, 20, 30. So when I run this program, obviously it says that it is a tuple. But when I say it only 10, if I have only one element in the tuple, so when I try to print this element, it will say it is an integer. So in order to convert this string or integer into tuple, you have to write a comma over here which says it is a tuple. Okay, hope you have understood this. So these are the set of valid tuples where you can have empty parenthesis which says it is a empty tuple, and you can have set of elements which are comma separated. You can have anything which is comma separated, whether you have an element next towards comma or not, it should mandatorily have at least one single comma separated values. Okay, next we will move on to how to create the tuples. So there are two ways of creating tuple. One is directly assignment by using brackets or comma separated values, and another way of creating a tuple is using a predefined function called tuple, where you are passing some list or anything, whatever you want to string as a parameter. So when you see the first way of creating tuples, so when I say t is equal to empty brackets, so then we can say that it is a empty tuple. When I say that 10 comma bracket, so it is a tuple. So list of elements with comma separated values, it will print as a tuple. So when we call a function called tuple, you need to either use empty brackets which says empty tuple, or you have to pass either a list of variables, or you can pass some set of values or list of values with a predefined function, or you can pass as a string value for the parameter for the predefined function called tuple. Suppose you have a list of variables, list is equal to 10, 20, 30. So now when I try to print this t, so list, there is a set of list of elements. I want to create that or pass this list of element as a set of tuples. So when I see this or run the program, you can see the set of tuples. The list is converted into set of tuples. Okay, so let's move on to this. Back to the program. Here you are calling a range function as a parameter to the tuple between 10 to 20, with third parameter says how many skips that you are doing, that is 10 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So till less than 20 the values will be printed. Similarly you can pass a string as well. So this string is converted into list of elements with tuples. Okay, list in the sense a list of tuples which are of character data type. Okay, now as we have learnt in strings and list, so how you can access the element of tuple using two ways. One is by using indexing and another is by using slicing operator. So when I say indexing, that's just like an array. You are trying to access the first element, second element. You can see how the indexing is done for the elements. So positive index will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative index will be starting from the right hand side towards left hand side. So if I want to access t of minus 1, so t of minus 1 will be 60. This is how you will be able to access. And see here, you are trying to change the value of the tuple. So which is very much impossible, it cannot have, and you are trying to access the element which is not in the given range of indices. Again it will throw you an error. Okay, another is slicing operator. We have been learning this slicing operator since string concepts and list concepts, and through this indexing you will be able to access set of elements. So for example, so 2 is to 5, so 2, 3, 4, that is 30, 40 and 50 will be accessed. If I consider minus 5 is to minus 2, so since it is negative indexing, it should be starting from minus 5 to minus 2, which says 20, 30, 40, and where the last indexing will not be considered. So when I go for double colon is to 2, what is double colon says? If we will be generally having the 3 sets of values that we will be giving. So the first one says starting position, second one says the ending position, and the third one says how many skips, that means how many element position skips that you will be doing. So from starting till ending, okay, because they haven't given any value for 2 skips. Say for example 10, 30 and 50, only these elements will be printed. You can see the output here. Okay, because we have already learned these concepts in list and strings, so we will not go in depth because they all are similar way of accessing. Okay, next concept is what are the different types of operations that can be performed on the tuples. The first one is concatenation. As you know, concatenation is combining or concatenating two tuples. One is, if you have T1 is equal to 10, 20, 30 and you have one more tuple 40, 50, 60, I want to combine. Say for example, you have two database from different areas. So for example, Allahabad Bank at college, Allahabad Bank at BMS main college, I want to combine that database, then I can use plus operator which combines all the elements of the tuples. So multiplication is not actually multiplication, and we know that it is star indicates repetition. Okay, since star represent multiplication, they have said it as multiplication, but when I say repetition, the 10, 20, 30, 3 times, so you can see the set of these tuples which are repeated thrice. Okay, and another one is membership operator. We have been learning that membership, whether a particular element is existing in the tuple or not. So when I want to know whether A is in that tuple of string is directly the value that is being given, it represents false. A is not in tuple, yes, true, so it will display true, and here it will display false. I hope you know how in and not in operator works, and it always results with either true or false. Okay, now the very important concept, that is comparison. So we cannot do apply this comparison operators for any other data structure in Python. but here we are trying to compare the elements of the tuples. So this generally comparing happens like a sorting function. So what does sort function do? If I have ABC XYZ element, then how does it sort? It sorts ABC element and XYZ. So it means in the alphabetical order it will be sorting. If I have ABC and ACD, so how does it first checks for A, then it will check for, so if I want to show it to you, then I'll show you. You have something like ABC and you have ACD. How does it check? How does it order? First is checks for A and A, it's matching, it is similar, then it will go for the second element of the data, that is it compares B and C. So since B is smaller than C, so ABC and then ACD will be sorted, right? Similarly comparison, so first it will compare with the first element 0 and 0. So when I say 0 and 0, they both are identical, so you cannot compare it. Next, since it is identical, so let's take this one itself and see how does this work. So now I try to compare 0 with 0, 1 and 2. So 0 and 0 is matching, is identical, so you cannot say it is greater or lesser. Since it is not able to do with this first element, it will go for the second element. Is 1 less than 3? Yes, it is true. So it is going to print the value called true. So when I say again here, can you see here 0, 1 and 2, 0, 1 and 4. So what would be the output? Since 0 and 0 are identical, it will not be able to compare, so goes for second element. Again they both are identical, so it takes the third element to compare. 2 is less than 4, yes it is true. So it is going to print it as true, which is of type boolean. Okay, that is how the comparison is being connected to the sorting. So when you want to compare the two elements, first it checks the first element. If there is a tie, it is going to go for compare it with the second element. Similarly, the sorting functions work with this tuple. So this sorting function is based on a pattern called DSU. So that is decorate, sort and undecorate. So decorate is nothing but first it creates a list of generally tuples. So there is no predefined sort function with the tuples. Okay, we apply sorting function only through key value pair, that is by using dictionary elements. So if I want to sort it, we will first create a set of list of tuples with key elements, sort it, again we are going to place back the key element with values and display it in the ascending or descending order. So just remember what is decorate, sort and undecorate. We will go through this program in the later stage. Okay. So the next is the predefined function. Even though this is not there for syllabus, you can just go through that predefined functions, which is very similar to the other data types. And we don't have sort function, rather we have sorted, which can be directly applied to the tuples. So whatever we had used here, sorting in tuples, it is with respect to dictionary, not direct tuples. So when I want to directly sort, then I have to use a predefined function called sorted. Anyway, you can just go through this one. And next when we move on to the tuple assignment. So you might be wondering, what is this tuple assignment? So here you are having a tuple at the left hand sides, that is here. If you can observe here, so now I have a list of, it is nothing but converting the list of elements into tuples. How can you do that? By taking the direct assignments. Say for example, I have m is equal to have and fun. So I want to convert this into tuples. Okay. So if you just can observe this, t is equal to have comma fun, which is of type list. I want to convert this tuple into list. So how do I convert? I can have x comma y. So this, since it is a comma separated values, I will assign it to t. So now what happens, what is the value in the t? T is having two values. So I need to create two tuples elements, say for example x and y, and when I try to print the value of x and y, so then it will assign the values of x and y with have and fun. If you can see, observe here, have is assigned to x and fun is assigned to y. So that is nothing but converting the list of elements into tuples by assigning it to the values. Okay, or you can have m of 0 as m of 1, assign it to x comma y individually and display it. Okay, so now one of the easiest way of sorting. So what are the elements of x and y? So the x and y is have and fun. Say for example, I want to swap these two numbers. So the easiest way of swapping is the direct assignment of the tuple, which says x comma y is equal to y comma x. So when you run this program, you can see, just 1 second, hold on. Okay, so the error is we do not know what is x and y. So it says what we do not know. So here first we had to convert this list into tuple. That is nothing but t is having the values of t will be converted to x and y. So when I print x and y, if you can see, x value will be fun and y value will be have. This is how the easiest way of swapping the elements or interchanging the elements in the tuple. So here you are having two tuple elements and trying to assign three values, again you will get a value error. And here one more way of where we can implement the tuple element is, I have a set of string and I want to assign this string or split the string into n number of words and convert that words into tuple. So what I can do is, if you see, a variable is assigned with the string and I am trying to split the element at the exactly position at. If you remember split function from strings, so from what position you can, through what position you can split can also be given at position. So Monty is one value, python.org is one value. So this string is converted into tuple by assigning two variables, and if you print those two variables, it will have the output Monty python.org. If I say split at the y position, so it will split it in the form of mont y at python.org in the domain. So converting list to tuples, converting a string to tuples. This is what we have studied in tuple assignment. So similarly, so you have, so just now we studied tuples to list and from list to tuples and string to tuples. I hope there is no confusion regarding this. Now to convert dictionary to tuples. Okay, so what is dictionary? Dictionary is a set of key value pair. So I want to convert this dictionary into tuple values. We have already learned how to access that as a form of tuples. We have predefined function called items. So when I say d.items, it is going to print the elements. So when I run this program, you can observe here. So Tom, and when I try to print the d value, d dot items in the empty brackets, so you will see what values are printed. So it will print a list of tuples with key value pair. So now I want to print all those as a normal values, converting this, just you can do even in this way also. that is d dot items, or you can also assign it to a specific key comma value and print that value comma key or key comma value by using for loop. So when I say this program, so for key comma value, because items contain a list of values with the two separate values, just like a list of tuples. So for every item it is going to print the list of value comma key. So here if you see what is list, okay, so I am getting the error of something called list object is not callable. Can you identify what is that? Here I am using a predefined constructor called list, and I have also assigned a variable called list. So this is the error that has come. So now if you can see here, for every key value pair in the list of d dot items. So why am I accessing d dot items, and this will be inside the list, because whenever you access d dot items it will be in the form of list, as we saw here. It is in the big brackets where you can see list, and this is a list of tuples. So I want to use a predefined constructor list of the tuples. So for that sake I am using for a key value pair for everything. I am just printing the value. If I just call d dot items, it will print all the tuples inside the list. Okay. So this is what happens. So it iterates twice for key pair and the value pair. So this is how you are converting the tuples, or sorry, the dictionary into tuples. I hope you are not getting confused. So we had seen the converting list to a tuple, and we had also seen converting a string to a tuple, and here we have seen how to convert a dictionary to tuple, that is by using d dot items. Since this d dot items returns in the form of list, we have to use a list of this key value pair. Okay, so let's see the differences between list and tuples. Lists are mutable, but tuples are immutable object. And here the same insertion order is preserved, duplicates are allowed, heterogeneous, and indexing and slicing are supported both in list and tuples. And here you have comma separated values within big brackets and comma separated value with parenthesis. And here say you cannot change the contents, but here content is, when you can change the content in the list, but here you cannot change because they are mutable and immutable. And remember here, list object cannot be used as keys for dictionaries, in the sense you cannot combine the list with the dictionaries, because the dictionary is a hashable. Through hashing function, through keys you are able to access, but you can use the tuple object as keys for the dictionary. Just you remember this. List do not support the keys for key value pair for the dictionary, and tuples does the support. So if you can see here, I cannot have 1, 2, 3, 4 and convert that into dictionary, but this is a tuple. So if you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they are hashable. I can make this as a hashable and print the for every item in X. It is a normal way of printing the list. Okay, so when we talk about the tuples and dictionaries, so I want to convert the dictionary to tuple. As I said, there are different ways of converting a tuple to dictionary. So when I say the dictionary here, I have a dictionary and I want to convert this dictionary to tuple. So just d dot items, you will be able to do it. So when I print it, you will be printing all the elements. So now I want to sort the elements of the tuple based on key. So I don't have predefined sort function. So what is that I can do? You have d dot items, which displays the list of all the elements. Okay, but sort function is available only with the list. So what I will do is I will create a list variable which says list of d dot items. Okay, so when I say this and try to sort the element list dot sort, and you are trying to print the value of ls, so then we will see how the elements are printed. You can see Donald, Jerry and Tom, DJT. Because you don't have a predefined function for sorting, sorted is for list of direct value tuples, but here it is a dictionary. You are converting the dictionary to tuples and then try to sort. So this can be done by converting that into list and then apply sort function for the given list. Okay, so you can see here we have already come back. Now I said you can perform sorting based on key element. Now I want to sort the dictionary values, converting that into tuple based on values. So what should I do? If I want to sort it based on values, I want to interchange the value with keys and keys with value. So what is that I will be doing is, so if you see this, I am directly taking here so the same thing. So list, I have an empty list which says nothing. For every key and value in d dot items, I need to append that in this empty list. So now when I am appending, since it is a key value pair, you are extracting key and value separately and storing it in the list in the form of value and key. So if I want to add the contents into the list, if you can observe here, you will have, it should be in the form of tuples. So I am saying inside the brackets of value comma key. Okay, please do remember that you have to apply a brackets for converting. So after everything, so now here you have for loop. Okay, so when you observe here, the key value pairs are extracted from the dictionary and you are appending it to a new list by interchanging the value from key. Interchanging is just appending it in the first value and then you are appending. So then directly you apply sort function. So the reverse, if reverse is equal to true, we will see what is the list. So the list is in the decreasing order. So highest element will be here. So when I say reverse is equal to false, this list of tuples will be converted from lower to higher. If you can see here, the list of tuples was Tom 1292. Now it is been interchanged with 1292 and Tom. It means the key has become 1292. Even though we are interchanging, we are not saying this is a key, but based on values we are trying to convert, and I am having a set of dictionary. Okay, set of dictionary with interchanged key value pair. I hope you have understood this. Okay, now I want to find the most commonly used words in a text file. So what is that I have to do? I want to create a first text file and then sort and then extract every line of the text, erase or eliminate all the punctuation marks, unnecessary spaces or anything as such, and convert that into lowercase, and whenever you find a new item you will be incrementing the value by 1. Okay, so when we see here, if I go through this file handler, say for example test.txt, I have a file called hi, how are you, stay safe at home, everything. So I will create an empty dictionary for every line in the file handler. What is file handler? It is a reference for a particular file. So since this program is already being discussed, we will just see the thing. So when I say this function, so we will see how it works, because I need to create file handler import string. So why do we import string here? We are importing string just to 1 second. So here for every word, this should be inside this. Okay, when I have the test.txt, so I will be creating a file called test.txt, and you will have it. Hi, how are you? Hi, hello, you. Hi, hello, how are you? Hi, hello. So I just want to know, are you at home? So I want to know how many times each and every. So here for every line in the file handler, I want to translate this into a character which does not have any, say for example, if I have question mark, if I have full stop, so everything should get eliminated through this string dot punctuation, which is a part of a string class. Okay, now I am converting this into lower. This program we have already discussed in the dictionary function. You can go through that again. So here now I am going to split it word by word, and if the word is not in this dictionary, you will be incrementing the value with 1. If it is already there, you will add one more. So if you are assigning the value for the first time, if it is not there, you will be incrementing the value by 1. So the next thing what we are doing is again the same thing. I want to convert this into list with how many times it has occurred and how many times, what is the name of the value. So just by copying this, I will be doing here. So you can see that you are for a key value pair in the list of items. So what is the list of count.items? It has all the number of words, and here it will be converted into, okay, you are appending, and as it is you are trying to sort and you are trying to print the elements of key value. So you are converting key value into value words. It is up to you whether you want to exchange the value to key and key to value, or you can directly have this list and append it and directly do the conversion, and we will see what is the program. So here we have a lot of indentation problem. We will see. When we run this program, we should be able to get how many times you, hi. Since I have used reverse is equal to do, it will be displaying it in the increasing order. So this part we discussed just now, how to convert dictionary into list of value key pair, and here this part was discussed in the dictionary, how to remove the punctuation marks, split the words and convert that into set of dictionary keys. So when I print here print of count, so we will see what is that counts it will be having. So count will be nothing but a dictionary which says how many times every word has appeared. So based on this dictionary, I am converting it into the list of key value pair to sort the elements. Okay, now you have a challenging question here. So till now we had discussed about dictionary with the key value pair. What if you have two keys? Okay, I want to map two keys to a single value. Say suppose you have a telephone directory, it maps from last name and first name pairs, which acts as a key element to a value. So I want to convert this dictionary to a value and sort it in an alphabetical order. So there is the same similar example or the code that I explained should be applied here, but only the difference is here we have two set of key elements, last comma first. So for every last comma first in the dictionaries, you are printing the first, last and the value associated with that element, that is nothing but the telephone number. Say so for example you have John, Peter. So John is first name, Peter is a last name. So these two names should act as a key and it should have a value as a telephone number. So this is one of your assignment and very important question for your exam. I hope you will solve this program, and here you can have a summarize concepts about strings, list and tuples, and in where exactly how we can use, or in what situations you can use string, list and tuples. You can go through this program, and this is the one exercise problem which is very important, that you are supposed to solve these two programs. If you try to solve these two programs, you will be able to know the concepts of tuples easily. Thank you.